محمدا عبده ورسوله فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. عباد الله اتقوا الله حق تقاته وعظموه حق تعظيمه وأثنوا عليه بما هو أهله وآمنوا به حق الإيمان واحذروا مخالفة أوامر ربكم وعصيانه واعلموا أن القلب أشرف عضو في الإنسان وهو ملك الجوارح بصلاحه يستقيم القول والعمل وتستقيم الجوارح والعكس بالعكس. عباد الله إن القلوب دول محكمة وخزائن مقفلة لا يملك مفاتيحها إلا مالكها وحده، إذ يقول لسيد المرسلين رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فيما ثبت عن عبد الله بن عمرو بن العاص رضي الله عنه حينما يقول إنه سمع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إن قلوب بني آدم كلها بين إصبعين من أصابع الرحمن كقلب واحد يصرفه حيث يشاء. ثم قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا على طاعتك. رواه Muslim. My respected brothers, you'll find in our body the certain organs that is really unique than the others. Even today, among the many doctors, they say that there's certain organ that works day in, day out. And certain organ can only become better. Now the organ that constantly moving around, you like it or not, depending on the circumstances you're in, that is the heart. The second organ that will take many people to Jahannam and that keeps on getting better and better, it has no time limit, even in the old age. It just keeps on getting better and better is the tongue. When you train your tongue, my brothers, it just becomes better. When you learn a language, you can become a master of that language. And doesn't matter what age that is in. And that is the tongue. But I want to focus on something where in Quran al-Kareem, as we flip through the pages, Jalla wa Ala, he talks about an organ that connects with our brain. And that is nothing but the heart. Brother, the heart is something that if you don't train it to be pure, it keeps on getting worse. If you don't watch your heart, my brothers, if you don't watch out for your heart and it's making it clean and purifying your heart, it keeps on getting dirty depending on the circumstances where you put yourself in. My brothers, didn't Allah Azza wa Jalla say in Quran al-Kareem, إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. The one who is pure-hearted, the one who is good in his heart, only that person gonna be coming to him with success. In regards to the other type of the heart, that is the qasiyah, he said, وَيْلٌ لِلْقَاسِيَةِ قُلُوبُهُمْ مِنْ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. And bad wishes is upon the person who comes to me with the most dirtiest of all hearts. Brothers, it goes back to the heart. As you flip Quran al-Kareem, Jalla wa Ala, in Surah al-Baqarah, he talks about the three different types of hearts. First is the heart of the believers. First is the heart of the believers that it's pure. It's pure. They're good-hearted human being. The second one he goes in is the munafiqun, the hypocrites, where they have some sort of belief, but they think they can smart Allah, they can oversmart him. So they have hypocrisy within him, where they say, you know what, yeah, I'm with you, I believe, I'm with you, I believe in Quran al-Kareem. But when you tell them to pray, they come to prayer, kusala, meaning very lazy, they're not bothered. My brothers, then he says, then my brothers and sisters, then Jalla wa Ala is in Quran al-Kareem, Man khashiya ar-Rahman bil-ghayb, the one who fears the unseen. Man khashiya ar-Rahman, the one who fears the most merciful, the unseen. وَجَاءَ بِقَلْبٍ مُنِيبٍ, the one who comes to me with the devotion, with the heart that is devoted. the heart that is pure from evil. My brothers and sisters, a lot of stress has been given to Quran in Quran al-Karim about the heart. Because I'll tell you something, Jalla wa ala he can afford to give you good limbs. He can give you a good body that operates. He can afford to give you everything when it comes to your human body. However, when it comes to hidayah, when it comes to the guidance, when it comes to having a pure heart, even a person with the most healthiest of body can become the most wretched when it comes to his heart and when it comes to his dealing, right? So Allah Azza wa Jal, He's talking about heart. He's talking about rectifying your heart. And Quran al-Karim, He only directs you towards hidayah. It directs you towards what is good for your heart. My brothers and sisters, there's certain things that can ruin your heart. There's certain action that can ruin your Emaan through the heart. It can ruin it so much so that you will be misguided. That you'll go through so much turbulence in your life. One of the signs of the weakness of the heart and weakness of Emaan is what they say, committing a sin that is done regularly. Okay? Committing a type of sin that is done regularly. Yes, we all go to sin. However, when the sin becomes open, that's the problem. Now the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, every nation is forgiven except doing it openly. إِلَّا الْمُجَاهَرَةِ. Mujaharat al-dhunub is something that you start displaying it among people. Okay, they have no shame. For example, a young person may be attracted to with a girl, for example. They do it secretly. But later on in their life, they realize, why shall I hide it for? Why shall I hide that such a sin? Let me do it openly. So they start walking together and doing all these atrocities that is against the Sharia outside of marriage. Another thing that they do is certain men, they unfortunately, they have some sort of addiction towards looking bad things in the internet, for example. They have no shame that they'll go out of their way, they'll take their car and go to something called the escorts. That's what they do, and this is something that I deal with every single day. Brother, they have no haya, they have no shame. Brother, this is the sin that people are living with. When you start committing sin openly, then hawan follows. Hawan is what? Shame starts following. Brothers, another thing that they do that can ruin someone's heart and the weakness of Emaan is not bothered about the time of Salah or the seasons that comes along. Okay, Mawasim. These are the Ramadan. These are Dhul Hijjah. This is Shawwal, Sha'ban. All the months that passes by, they're not bothered at all. In fact, they are more bothered about what's going to be happening in Christmas. That's what happens. We're so immersed within that culture that we're forgetting the month of Al-Islam. Who knows the month of Al-Islam? Subhanallah. Even someone being in the deen for many years, he doesn't understand what's Muharram, Safar, Rabi al-Awwal, Rabi al-Thani. They don't follow up with the Islamic calendars. And Shaykh ibn Uthaymin rahimahullah, he says that one of the ways of knowing that you're being misguided is not being aware of the Islamic months that is passing by. Now we are at the ayyam, the days of Hajj. We call it the Ashhurul Hajj. After Ramadan passes by, we end up on different mawasim. This is called the Ashhurul Hajj. Now, another thing that they do is they delay the salah. They delay the salah, thinking, you know what, it's okay. It's okay to delay my salah because, Allah is forgiving. He's oft merciful. They have such a wrong understanding when it comes to forgiveness, which I'm going to come in a bit later on. They don't really understand that Allah Azza wa Jal, muttali'un ala ma fi nufusikum. He knows what's in your heart. You have the time to pray. You have the ability to pray. But yet you fear what your colleague's going to say. You fear what your family member's going to say. Thinking, oh, he's the religious one. He's the religious one. He prays. They don't care. He really cares about us anyway. If it's not Allah Azza wa Jal. If it's not you caring about his conditions and his fara'id, then what are we standing for? Many of us, we don't care about what time salah is happening. Oh yeah, I'm driving. Okay, when you're on a long journey, it's fine. After you leave a certain amount of kilometers, you become a musafir. This is different. But what about when you're sitting home? What about when the time is passing by, you have the football on or whatever's on the TV, and you think, yeah, I'm going to pray. By the time it's late, oh, I'm so tired, I'm going to go to sleep now. Khalas, you finish your Salatul Isha, you missed it. Brothers, another thing that happens is that people start delaying certain things that maybe, now listen to this, it may be allowable to delay it. For example, Al-Hajj. Now we know Hajj has been legislated at the end of its prophethood. Many ulama, they have come to an understanding that, okay, you can delay your Hajj. You can delay your Hajj. However, living in United Kingdom, where everyone, mashallah, tabarakallah, has a beautiful income going on. You go to Hajj, you go to Mecca and Medina, you'll find the British and the Americans and the Western young men going to Umrah and Hajj. Something where in the developing countries they can even dream of. Why? Because young men and women here in this country and other country, in the first world I'm talking about, they have money that is in their account where they can go once a year if they want to. Who can agree with me in this? But yet they delay, thinking, no, I'm going to do Hajj, I'm not ready yet. They say, I'm not ready to do Hajj. What do you mean you're not ready to do Hajj? Who said this? This is a fallacy. Since when someone goes to Hajj, he says, I'm totally ready to go Hajj. No, when you want to get married, who told you that you're completely ready to get married? You just have to dive into it and leave the rest in Allah's hands. Marriage is an ibadah, Hajj is an ibadah. When fasting comes along, when you realize, subhanallah, messages going by that Ramadan is in 30 days time, do you wait or can you change the day and the gravity and start making a 1 month delay? No, when the Ramadan falls, you fast. Simple, you can't delay it. Same way when it comes to Hajj, when you have the money. Now listen to this, brothers. When you have the money, you have the capability. Now listen to this. If you're a Muslim, when you have the capability, you have the money, you have to book your ticket and you have to make your way to Hajj. Especially now, where things have become much more easier. They start delaying the fard. This is the weakness of Emaan, my brothers. We have to be aware of. Another reason, which is the sign and the defect of one's Emaan, is when they listen to Quran al-Kareem, they don't really care. They have no sort of feeling that I'm listening to the word of Allah Azza wa Jal. They have no, they listen to Quran al-Kareem. When someone puts, they will put the music up. When someone passing by with Quran al-Kareem, they have no shame. They have no shame when the Quran al-Kareem is put on. Okay? وَقُلُوبٌ أَقْفَالُهَا. The hearts are very much tightened, very much locked. They have no shame when the Quran al-Kareem is put on, but yet TV is still switched on. They don't have no kind of a feeling of, the heart becomes lively, becomes alive. You feel that, that's the word of my Rabb. I have to humble down. Let me listen to it. Let me put my eyes down. Brothers, another thing that happens that is the weakness of Emaan is a tightness of the chest and no desire to rectify it or no desire for a change. Now that's a dangerous one, okay? The tightness of the chest is something many men, they complain. Now among modern men, women, they complain even more. They complain about the tightness of the chest because it can happen for a few reasons. Now the hadith, it comes that when a person commits a sin, فَنُكِتَتْ نُكْتَةُ السَّوْدَاء, it becomes like a black dot that penetrates of the heart of a mu'min. It becomes darkened after time. When you go to sin regularly without any istighfar, without no shame, your heart becomes darkened. It becomes tight. It becomes tightened. And what happens later on? Something else follows on, that is anxiety. For many men and women, what follows on is panic attack, where they start going through turbulence with the nafs. Now this is something that is very dangerous. The reason being is because when you go to the doctors, if you were to go to the doctors of psychology or psychiatry, many of them, they can actually fix it. They send you home. In fact, there's a big influx in NHS dealing with mental health, as we all know. Now many of them, they they don't get much of help. Because number one, they don't refer you to a Muslim therapist, because many of us, all of us are Muslims, and we want someone that goes aligned with our Muslim faith. They can't provide you with that. They don't provide you with that. So automatically, in a therapeutic relationship, it doesn't even start from the beginning. It doesn't even start. The reason being is because I'm not connecting with my coach. I'm not connecting with my therapist. That's what happens. However, when they leave, their heart is still not really moistened. They still feel that my heart is so tight, it's so tightened, that even when I pray, even when I'm trying to do good, I still don't feel anything. Now, this is one of the signs of the weakness of Iman. أقول قولي هذا نستغفر الله لي ولكم والسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب إنه هو البر الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ثم أما بعد. My brothers and sisters, the heart will always going to go through turbulence. It's fine. It's okay. Because Allah Azza wa Jal, He explains it anyway. And the hadith that is mentioned about the heart, يتقلب. And all of our hearts is basically with the two fingers of Allah Azza wa Jal. All of our hearts, كقلب واحد, it's like one heart. He guides whomever He wills and He misguides whomever He wills. That's the reality of the heart that we have. Okay? But after it's becoming so darkened, there's a part of us that shouts out. That's called the nafsul mutma'inna. We all have it. The nafsul mutma'inna, my brother, starts crying. It starts shouting that something is wrong with me. Something is wrong with me. And then, after that, the best thing to do is to rectify يجدد الإيمان. Is to rectify your Iman. Is to rectify your Iman, meaning, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said in the hadith, indeed Iman is embedded in your hearts the way you wear a shirt or an outfit. So ask Allah to renew your Iman. Iman can deteriorate in one's heart the way your shirt can become old and not worthy of wearing it. In another authentic hadith, in one's heart there is a cloud that appears like a moon, covers the cloud. Once the moon appears, there is a covering. And when it passes, it starts glowing. Okay? So, your heart is very fragile. It's really fragile. It can become a covering. But the smart person is the one who rectifies it. Renews why he's here. Renew his intentions. Renew his deen again. Renew his Iman. And this needs for you to be a critique of your own nafs. This needs for you to be a critique of your own nafs. My brothers and sisters, one of the ways of rectifying your heart is having a meaningful conversation with the people of piety. Having meaningful conversations. Having meaningful conversation with Ahl al-Iman, with the people of Iman. Even if it means letting go of your old habits and your old friends and going and linking up with people with Iman. People of piety. That's the very reason why we're encouraged to leave people of juhal, people of ignorance, and being with the people of taqwa, people of wara, people of who's got some sort of level of Iman and who are frequently trying to do good deeds. Now remember, they also have defects. They are not perfect, but they are always working towards the road of recovery. My brothers and sisters, another way of softening your hearts, my brothers, is going to the graveyard. And that's the best place you ever can go. But remember, my brothers and sisters, okay, for sisters, if you want to go, then go from far away. Don't start walking around. From far away, inshallah. But even there's opinion to say that you can go and visit the grave. I'm holding that opinion. Now, One of the best way is going to the graveyard and spending some time, because that's going to be your last abode. That's going to be your last abode. Another way of doing it is go to the masjid where janazah takes place. Janazah takes place, and just go and hop along. Just go with them where the where the maqbara is, where the graveyard is. Here the closest one is Bromley. Then got the Five Oaks and the Garden of Peace. Where I'm from, most of our dead are buried in Five Oaks. So go along with them and see how the jutha, see how the body is being buried. Go and look at it. Go close and look at it. Realize, make yourself know that I am nothing but clay. It's going to deteriorate. I'm not here for too long. Half of my life is gone already. Remind yourself this. Talk to yourself. Brothers, and sisters, one of the things that I do in my therapy is that I tell the brothers to record themselves and talk to yourself. The good thing that's happening in your life, because some of the brothers are very distraught. So I tell them, record yourself. Brothers and sisters, record yourself and tell yourself where you're going to be ending up in. Because what's happening, my brothers and sisters, we have three types of heart. One of them is a very naughty one. It's called nafsul ammaratun bis-su. It wants you to be away from Emaan. It wants to take you away from Emaan. Inna nafsa ammaratun bis-su. Jalla wa ala, he talks about in Quran al-Kareem. It's like it has a brain of its own. Why is that after doing my salawatul khams, after doing my salah, after trying to rectify my deen, why do I carry on going to the sin? Who's allowing, what's making me go to it? Some brothers in addiction, they can't let go of that sin. They find it so hard. And you tell them why you're doing it. And that needs a self-recovery, my brothers. It needs a self. No one can be a better critique than yourself. No one can't be a better critique than yourself. If you're suffering from loss of Emaan or lowliness of Emaan, then problem is with us. It's not people around us. That's the thing. It's not with people around us. My brothers, another thing that happens in our nafs, and that's a big problematic for many of us young men and women. And this can happen to anyone. Anyone can fall victim of this. And that is Allah not forgiving me anymore. Astaghfirullah. How can that happen? How can a mu'min believe that my sin is so big that Allah will not forgive me anymore? They let go of the salah because of the certain sin that they've been doing. Whether it be through money, whether it be through women, whether it be through their own addiction that they're very much enwrapped in. They say, Allah will not forgive me. The hadith in Al-Qudsi comes that in Anas ibn Malik reports, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith, أن سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول قال الله تعالى يا ابن آدم إنك ما دعوتني ورجوتني غفرت لك على ما كان منك ولا أبالي. He says, O son of Adam, so long you call upon me and ask of me, I will forgive you for what you have done, and I shall not care. I will not mind. Then he says, Ya ibn Adam, لا بلغت ذنوبك عنان السماء ثم استغفرت لي غفرت لك. Even if your sin was to come at the pinnacle of its sky and came to me, I don't care, I will still forgive you. Ya ibn Adam, لأتيتك بقرابها مغفرة إنك إن أتيتني بقربات الأرض خطايا ثم لقيتني لا تشرك بي شيئا لأتيتك قرابها مغفرة رواه الترمذي. Then he says, if you were to come to me with forgiveness as great as this earth and bigger than that, I will come to you with the same kind of forgiveness. بِقُرَابِهَا, with similar type of forgiveness. Now you tell me, how on earth me and you belittle the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal? How on earth me and you belittle the maghfirah of Allah Azza wa Jal? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for a mu'min to believe that Allah will not forgive me. My brothers, the key of everything is husnul dhan, having a good opinion towards Allah Azza wa Jal. My brothers, we have two wings, the way Prophet peace be upon him he described. The wing of hope and the wing of fear. Some of us unfortunately walking with a wing that is broken, that is the hope. We have no hope. We fear Allah so much that they say Allah will not forgive me anymore. This is khata, this is mistake. Then they say, oh, Allah is forgiving. I'm going to commit any sin I want. Any sin I want, Allah will never going to forgive me. Allah is merciful, He will forgive me. This person, he broke the other wing. We have two wings that we fly towards Allah Azza wa Jal. And this is the hope and mercy. My brother, this hadith, it shows that so long you don't commit no shirk with Allah Azza wa Jal. You don't become the abd of your own nafs. You don't become a slave to your own nafs the way people are doing. Among human beings, they have taken sharaf. They have taken honor through money and position. They believe my money gonna save me. My position gonna save me. And then they see good action and iman to be something of nothing. This is the type of people Allah Azza wa Jalla is talking about. Some people, they take sharaf. They take honor through money. They think I'm gonna go inside my grave with the money that I have, with my MasterCard, with my Visa, and my Maestro. Yeah, that's what they really believe in. The reality is, we don't go with nothing. In fact, when you go to the graveyard, what happens? When you go inside, you're only going to have one wish. Only one wish, and that wish only going to be counted for. And that to pray rak'atayn. To pray your rak'atan khayrun fi dunya wa ma fiha. That is a 2 rak'ah of prayer is better than anything that consists in this world and everything that is in it. 2 rak'ah of salah. 2 rak'ah of salah. Billahi alayk. If you know another reason of the marad of nafs, another reason of marad of nafs is heedlessness, is being jahl, is being ignorant of your deen, is thinking, yeah, I'm going to live for another long. I'm going to live for much more longer. Al-mulkun la yabla, the kingdom that never going to perish. You carry on making your empire. You carrying on making your empire. At the same time, you're aging. At the same time, a part of you is getting missing. A part of you is going away, is diminishing. We are all going and walking towards Allah Azza wa Jal. And this is the end result, my brothers. إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. The one who comes to Allah with a pure heart. صَلُّوا عَلَى بَشِيرٍ النَّذِيرٍ. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا صَلُّوا عَلَيْهِ وَسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. اللهم إنا نسألك بأن لك الحمد لا إله إلا أنت المنان بديع السماوات والأرض ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم باعد بيننا وبين الخطايانا كما باعدت بين المشرق والمغرب. اللهم نقنا من خطايانا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس. اللهم اغسلنا من خطايانا بالثلج والماء والبرد. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا إلى طاعتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر